What's up, Multiverse? Dr. Dave here. Welcome to the Geek Lounge. In today's video, we're going to be taking closer looks at some of the New York Comic Con Funko Pop exclusives because I've just received my parcel. I don't know if you guys watched Wednesday's video, but in it I mentioned I hadn't heard any dispatch information about my New York Comic Con exclusives from FunkoEurope.com, and that was a lie, because anything I get from FunkoEurope.com I normally pay via Amazon Pay, but for whatever reason I used PayPal on this occasion, and my PayPal account is linked to a different email address, and I hadn't checked that, and they did actually dispatch things on Wednesday, hence we get to open up this parcel here today. So yeah, a little apology to Funko, but that is the only apology you're going to get from me, because right now I've got to go on a bit of a rant, because the majority of drops on FunkoEurope.com this year have been pretty disappointing. With New York Comic Con, part 1 of the drop, just part 1 only, was supposed to drop last Friday at 2 PM British Summer Time, 3 PM Central European Time, yet when you logged into the store and you clicked on the shop, what was it, I think it was called Fright Night, right? The Fright Night Collection, Shop Fright Night Collection. When you clicked on it and went in, it only had the Harry Potter with the Basilisk Fang Funko Pop available for sale. And then it was about 8 or 9 minutes before everything else finally dropped on the site, which I guess is a bit of an improvement on San Diego Comic Con. It was about half an hour before any of those showed up to purchase, and it's a vast improvement on the D23 Expo drops, because that was advertised and then like nothing even happened, right? They made an announcement that the things were going to drop on a particular day, and then there was nothing. They didn't drop anything. They made no announcements for like 2 or 3 days before finally saying the D23 Expo drops will come at a later date. And the Luffy with Going Merry Deluxe from One Piece was arguably the most sought after exclusive from New York Comic Con this year, and it actually sold out within seconds. Some people did mention that they did manage to get it into their basket, but then it was already sold out by the time they got through the queue at checkout. I didn't even get there. As soon as like the page refreshed for me, it was already sold out, literally within seconds, like I said. And there were some people that said, I think it was like 10-15 minutes before the drop even happened, that pop was actually trending right now in like the hot things to buy, and there was a lot of suggestions like the bots and everything just bought the stock up, and that's why it disappeared so quickly. It wouldn't surprise me. It does happen pretty often, which is really annoying, because I, like a lot of people, wanted that pop for my collection, but for it to sell out in seconds, it just can't happen without something like nefarious going on, right? And tons of them now appearing on eBay for like over £100 when it was like, was it like 33, maybe 35, something like that, when it dropped on Funko Europe. I do believe it is coming to Forbidden Planet International, so keep an eye out for it when it does drop in those stores. The other annoying thing for me is there's no Forbidden Planet International like south of Birmingham, right? So I'd have to travel like a couple of hours to even go and get one in the store. But luckily they do now have like an online presence once again after they disappeared for a few years, so hopefully it might show up, you know, on their online site soon enough. And I mentioned the queuing system before. It just seems absolutely bizarre to me that the queuing system starts after you've added stuff to your basket, after you've hit checkout. It just seems really bizarre. Why not have the queuing system start like queue to get into the website, and then you're there, and if things are already sold out, they're already sold out. It is what it is. I think Pop Culture handled things much better, if I'm being perfectly honest. And I wish I looked at Pop Culture for these drops, but I thought everything was restricted shipping, but it turns out it is only those which are purely exclusive to Pop Culture. All of the others, which I guess will go to other vendors in Australia, they don't have restricted shipping, or at least they don't to the UK. I have actually ordered some of the ones that were not even included in Part 1 on FunkoEurope.com. And that's another thing that annoys me. Part 1, why are the drops getting split in half? We had the same with San Diego Comic Con, we had the same with the D23 Expo. I mean, the San Diego Comic Con Part 2 drops, they haven't even dropped yet. I mean, like, where are they? I think most people have gone and got them from elsewhere, but I just don't get it. Why, for the UK and Europe, is everything split in half? I'm pretty sure everything released on the US website, unless I am mistaken. If I am, do let me know in the comment section below. I think on Pop Culture, there was like 1 or 2 things that they didn't get, and they announced that straight away, saying they hadn't got the stock in yet. That's what we want to see. Honesty, you know, be honest, be open. What is the reason that we're getting these drops split in half? Is it like logistical issues? You know, I worked in shipping for nearly 20 years. I got out of the game about 15 months ago, so I'm not like privy to what's going on necessarily right now, but I know there are a lot of congestion issues, logistics issues, etc. So is that why? Is there a lot of stock that's not coming in? Are they splitting it in half because like they're worried in terms of like an overload with like the bandwidth and whatnot on their servers, which, okay, that's like a legit reason to maybe split things in half, but then Part 2 should have dropped on like Monday, Tuesday or Wednesday of this week, in my opinion. And now everything I buy is for my own personal collection. I don't purely buy things for this YouTube channel to get views and whatnot, even though I do love sharing it with you guys. But being a YouTuber, it's also pretty annoying when you receive stuff so late, right? Because like everything's kind of in the moment. Viral, I guess is the word, right? When everything's like viral, which New York Comic Con stuff is kind of like the viral things right now. And then like you end up showing stuff off and it's like, yeah, dude, you know, these things were shown off like 3-4 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago, your stuff's now old. That just kind of annoys me, really. It's like, yeah. Ooh, sir, I needed to take a breath. Apologies for the negativity, guys. Although let me know in the comments section below, did you guys also feel like annoyed with what's been going on with FunkoEurope.com recently? Time to be more positive though. Let's get into the parcel. And they always put everything in these weird sorters as well. I don't like these because they can actually damage the corners a bit on the pops if you guys aren't careful. So I actually picked up 6 here from FunkoEurope.com because we're waiting for all the other drops. I did pick up a bunch. Did I mention it before? I can't remember. I did actually pick up a bunch from Pop Culture. You know, there was a lot that weren't even released yet on FunkoEurope.com, so I'm guessing they're going to come in like a week or two. But yeah, let's get into the 6 that I did then pick up. And maybe that's... where should we start? Let's start with Harry Potter because, as I said, that was the only pop that existed, you know, on the drop for what, like 8-9 minutes. So yeah, here he is, guys. Harry Potter with the basilisk fang. If you guys are wondering, there is just the glam shot there on the side, nothing on the back, I guess. I mean, there is like a new wave, right? Because this is for the 20th anniversary of the Chamber of Secrets movie. When he is battling the basilisk in the Chamber of Secrets, he has the basilisk fang there, as well as the sword of Godric Gryffindor. Well, I guess, has he not actually defeated the basilisk already, and he's got the tooth, and he uses the tooth to then stab the diary of Tom Riddle? I mean, they could have added like the diary as like a little cool accessory, maybe that you put on the floor or something, if they'd done a base or something like that. Maybe that could have been a little bit cooler, but yeah, this is still a fairly decent Funko Pop. I mean, I don't want to say it's like an amazingly cool one because it's not. We've had so many Harry Potters, but it's iconic. Maybe that's a good word to use. The Sword of Godric Gryffindor, my one though, is a little bit bent there, which is a bit annoying. Might be able to bend that into place with like a bit of like hot water or whatever, but it does feel a little bit fragile. So if you guys do have this pop, do be careful. And I did also pick up the other Harry Potter exclusive, which is Neville Longbottom with the pixies there. This is actually a pretty cool one. There is a glam shot. Again, nothing on the back, even though I guess this is part of the Chamber of Secret wave of Funko Pops. And this is a really, really cool pop. I do enjoy it a lot. When it was first rumoured, I did wonder how they were going to do it. Were they going to put it on one of these acrylic bases that are normally reserved for like flying or floating characters? And they have done just that. We have the pixies there, you know, holding him up by the ears because they eventually hook him up on like a chandelier. Very funny scene from the Chamber of Secrets when it's Gilderoy Lockhart, brilliantly played by Sir Kenneth Branagh, who releases all the pixies in the class, and he actually runs away, you know, hoping his students will just deal with it because he, of course, is like a major fraud. I guess that's a bit of a spoiler, but come on, guys, the film did release 20 years ago. Yeah, like I said, a really cool Funko Pop. How many Neville Longbottoms have we got? Like I said, there's been tons of Harrys. Don't know if there's been tons of Neville Longbottoms, but yeah, I really do like this one. Very, very cool. And then, guys, I picked up the next release in the G.I. Joe range. It is, of course, Sergeant Slaughter, who was in the G.I. Joe movie. I'll show you guys a quick look at the box. It does have the older wave of figures there on the back. And it is a fairly cool pop, but it's a little bit basic, and we of course do already have a Sergeant Slaughter figure under the WWE line. Although this one is a bit different, you know, I'd say it's maybe got slightly more detail, but that Sergeant Slaughter one in the WWE line is certainly older. His muscles seem a bit more prominent. He has his arms crossed. The funny thing is, G.I. Joe, I think I've mentioned this on the channel before, G.I. Joe was actually called Action Force over here in the UK. I don't think it was something to do with like toy lines or something like that. And Sergeant Slaughter, if I do recall, was actually known as Sergeant Slammer and not Sergeant Slaughter, which again was pretty weird. Don't know again if it had something to do, did people not like the term slaughter? Who knows? The UK, we did some funny things back then in like the 80s. I mean, it was Teenage Mutant Hero Turtles because ninja was a bad word. But yeah, still a cool pop. Happy to add it to the collection. And like I said, yeah, I think he was in the G.I. Joe movie, right? I don't know if he appeared in any of the episodes. I really don't remember it too much, but yeah, happy to add it to the collection nonetheless. And the next pop is very nice. This is Borat. Apologies, that was probably a really, really crappy impression. I actually went to the same college, funnily enough, as Sacha Baron Cohen, but his career obviously took off much more than mine. I never met him though. Like, he was like years ahead of me. Like, I was still like teenage years when he was doing Ali G. But yeah, this is a really cool pop. I mean, just look at it, guys. There he is, American flag in hand, with the moustache, the hair, the duffel bag in his grey suit. I mean, yeah, it's just very, very cool. I mean, it's Naz, right? That's the only way you can describe this pop. And the final two pops I picked up, guys, are both from Star Wars. That probably tells you what they are. The very first one here is B2EMO. I think it was called B or B2, right, in the show, of course, from Cassian Andor. He was the, what was he called, like a salvage mech droid or whatever, serving the Andor family. And it is a pretty cool and unique Funko Pop, always on a Star Wars base, as all Star Wars Funko Pops have to be, as well as bobbleheads. I think in the show, the like head could like detract and retract into the body, right? But it is just a bobblehead, as you guys can see here. Yeah, with Andor, I haven't seen the latest episode just yet. I do need to get round to watching it, but I kind of have mixed feelings a little bit about the show, you know? It's like, I'm enjoying it to an extent, but I don't really feel any of the characters are quite memorable. I like just feel I don't really remember any of their names. I feel some of the storylines are a little bit like convoluting or like poorly placed in the show. It's just my opinion. I mean, you know, I don't really judge things until they've like finished and you've kind of got the full story and whatnot. But yeah, at this point, I don't know. I think it's just decent. I hope it does get better. I think like season 2, from what I've heard, season 1 is like set maybe 4 or 5 years before Rogue One, and then I think what they're going to do in season 2 is like every 3 episodes is then going to be like a year leading up to Rogue One. So yeah, I don't know if there's like season 1, maybe it's like 5 years before, and then the first 3 episodes in season 2 are going to be 4 years before, then the next 3 episodes 3 years, then 2 years, 1 year, so on and so forth. I don't know if it's then going to like get to the point in Rogue One, but yeah, I'll reserve judgment till it's all said and done. But yeah, as for the pop, like I said, pretty cool, pretty unique, and happy to add it to the collection. And the final Funko Pop to show off, and arguably the second most anticipated exclusive at New York Comic Con this year, the Anakin Skywalker with the 2 lightsabers. Let me give you guys a quick look at the box. It does just say on the back here, Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones. And yeah, guys, this is a really, really cool Funko Pop, rocking the blue and green lightsabers in this kind of attack pose. Even the eyebrows like a bit furrowed, right? Like he's ready to attack. He even has the hairpiece there. I think there is a specific term for it, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. Like a little Padawan hairpiece that comes down. Yeah, really, really cool. Always on a Star Wars base, as I said. All of them are bobbleheads as well. This one, no different. I think it's like a licensing thing. Some nice detail there in the hair. I already mentioned the Padawan thing, braid, whatever it's called. He has the rest of the hair there in a ponytail. Yeah, just a really, really cool pop. I do have to say, from the like prequel trilogy, Attack of the Clones is probably like my least favorite one, although I still like enjoyed it to an extent. And then of course it did spawn Attack of the Clones, which I, you know, thoroughly enjoyed that animated series. But yeah, guys, really cool pop. A lot of people think this may be a future grail. I guess time will only tell, but without question, a very, very cool pop. And so that's my pickups of the New York Comic Con exclusives so far. We are, of course, still waiting for part 2 to drop. No announcements just yet, unless they do announce something by the time I do release this video. Hey guys, apologies for the weird cut, but I did want to refill my outro for 2 reasons. The first of those being the fact that I was going to release this video tomorrow as opposed to today, though I thought, you know what, the video could end up being out of date with my little rant, especially if Funko make any further announcements. And Funko Europe did just that with this announcement on their Twitter feed while I was filming the video, stating, "We'll let you in on a secret. Not only will the 30+ pops launching at 9 AM tomorrow for FunkoEurope.com's second birthday include the FunCon 2 exclusive T Green Ranger Shredder, the collab between TMNT and Power Rangers, but there will also be new NYCC items and NYCC restocks." So it's not quite a confirmation of the part 2 drops, but they do specifically mention new NYCC items dropping as well as restocks. Will the Luffy with Going Merry be available? I guess only time will tell. That is tomorrow, 9 AM British Summer Time, 10 AM Central European Time, to celebrate the second birthday. There has also been this image going around online of an exclusive Freddy Funko. He's popping out of the cake there, holding a Great Britain flag though, which I think is a bit weird. It's not really Funko UK, is it? It's Funko Europe. I hope those 30+ pops are not like this figure with loads of different flags, because that would kind of suck. I'm not a, you know, particularly big Freddy Funko like fan or collector, but I think this one does look really cool. Whether it's going to be something you buy or you get free with like purchases or whatever. So make sure you guys do set your alarms for that tomorrow. And if they do happen to make any further announcements, I'll put a little short out at the end of the day with those updates. But yeah, guys, that is going to do it for today's video. First and foremost, thank you so much for taking a little bit of time out of your day to spend with me here on the Geek Lounge. It is very much appreciated. And I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If so, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Drop some comments below. What did you guys pick up for New York Comic Con? And we have plenty more content coming your way, guys. Our Naruto 20th anniversary celebration continues with this Saturday's video, where we do our first of a series of most wanted Naruto Funko Pop videos, starting with the Konoha 11. We are continuing our Star Wars celebration in Sunday's video. We're going to be checking out the limited piece count. I can't remember how many pieces it's limited to. The 3 Obi-Wan Kenobi lightsabers that released during D23 Expo. Really can't wait to take closer looks at those. More Funko Pop parcels, more whatever, you name it, are coming. So make sure you guys stay tuned for all of that and more. What is the easiest way to stay tuned? Very simple. Subscribe. Hit click, smash that subscribe button and enable those notifications so you don't miss out on any of that future content. Guys, thanks again for watching this video, and we will see you on the next one. Peace out, nerds!